Hello, welcome to the Millionaire Woman Show, where we'll be discussing leadership, business, and human potential, inspiring you to live rich from the inside out. Unlock your creativity, stretch out of your comfort zone, break through your barriers, take inspired action, and achieve epic results. Now, here's your host, two-time best-selling author, speaker, and certified executive coach, Deborah Kasowski.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Millionaire Woman Show. I'm so glad you could join us. It has been an amazing journey since last July, and I have to tell you that I've never been so much in love with the process of podcasting than I am as over the past few months, just watching the downloads constantly increase. We've reached over 6,200 downloads, and we are steadily climbing, and it is because of you that we're able to do so, and hearing from you how these podcasts are impacting your life, helping you set foot in new directions. It really inspires me and gives me that extra motivation and push to ensure that we're giving you quality content, high value, so that you can step up your game. Today's episode, we are talking about turning struggles into strength, your success. And, you know, life gives us a lot of ups and downs, kind of like a roller coaster. Sometimes you never know which way you're going. Sometimes there's things that come in front of us, and we think that someone's put up this roadblock or this obstacle. And sometimes all it is testing you to see how bad you truly want what you say you want. And you have a choice to sit there in the struggle. You have a choice to, get angry and blame other people and complain and find reasons why this happened to you rather than for you. And I'm not saying that it's a terrible thing. Like, I've had my own struggles, and, for some people, those struggles are devastating, no matter what your struggle may have been. And for other people, you're going to learn that they're like, yeah, it was a bit of a struggle, but not a big deal, because they chose to respond to it rather than react to it, thinking that there was no options, nothing that they could do about it. So what I want you to really thinking about, no matter what struggle you're facing right now, you're not alone. Often when we're going through things, we think that we're the only one who's going through it. And often, because you're sitting in that space and you're looking at the problem, you can't see the options around you. So I want to encourage you that you open up and share with others to help you start shifting in a different direction. Especially when you feel like you need help, you should be reaching out and really maybe getting a different perspective on things. Hindsight's 2020, when we sit back and think about some of those struggles and thinking about, how did this struggle help me? Really thinking about, what did you learn from your struggle? And at the time you're thinking, what am I learning? I'm learning that I don't like this. But I want you to really think about those times in your life where you faced a challenge and what you've taken from that challenge and learned from it that has helped you make different choices in the future. Maybe set yourself in a different direction. Maybe it's been that challenge that you have faced. You have started a non-for-profit because of it, or you have changed your lifestyle because of it. Some of the most inspirational people that we look at, again, what they did is they chose to use their struggle, their strength, shift it to their strength, but they're just like you and I. They didn't have a superpower that made them who they are, although we can sit back and think, wow, that's incredible. I don't think I could have done that. Yet if you see someone able to do something, you'd be surprised what you too are able to do, but don't give yourself a chance, or you haven't been faced with that situation. And this is where I find that people get caught up in what's going on in their life. They start comparing themselves to others and thinking that they have a lack of self-worth, that they don't have what it takes because they're caught up in the struggle, but not realizing that they really can shift into a different space. And instead of comparing yourself to someone else, thinking about how you can leverage and utilize your situation to either learn just for yourself or be able to share that and learn those lessons for others. Long ago, people would tell me, well, I like to talk about leadership. I like to talk about business. There's no tragic story behind it to get people's attention. But I don't need a tragedy to share a story. People are drawn to storytelling because it's relatable. It's about knowing that other people are going through the same thing. And years ago, my intention was to be a physician. And I was travel nursing in the United States. I was going to take the MCAT, and I sat down at the test and I was busy writing away. And suddenly they interrupted the exam to tell us that whoever had the examination that had a stamp on the front that said BS, that there was an error in the exam and that we had an option to continue writing the exam or to rewrite it at another time. And as you get caught up in a momentum when you're writing an exam and you're so focused on getting it done that it really interrupted what I was focused on. And I still did fairly well, but it really made me sit back and think, is this a sign? Is this something that I truly want? And it was testing me. Then when I had to write out some of the essays and preparation, I got flu or really bad cold. And, I had to ask others for help for helping me write my story. And it didn't come out the way I wanted it to. And hence, as you can see, I'm not a physician, but I ended up continuing along the nursing field and then got into management and leadership and worked with people in business and started my own business and, wrote a couple books with a third on the way. But every situation people face is different. And sometimes it's meant to lead us onto a path that's much greater than what we anticipated for ourselves versus sitting there and thinking, you know what, I'm just going to resist this all. So you can either choose, this is the other thing. So you can choose what you're going to learn from that struggle to make it your strength so you can use it to empower you to move forward and have momentum. Or what you can do is you choose to resist it, or you'll be open to the possibilities that exist around you. So really thinking about what is it that I need to learn? Maybe it's, again, that you're learning a different perspective. Maybe it's that you need to see and ask yourself, have I hit that place of being in a fixed mindset? And that fixed mindset is really about sitting in that space and thinking that there's no other options. There's nothing that can be done. You notice the language I'm using, fixed mindset. Nothing can be done. And it has those roadblocks in the language. Whereas you're thinking about the growth mindset and you're thinking, okay, this is just a test. Let's roll with this. Let's figure it out as we go. And maybe I can break this down into smaller pieces. And part of that resistance you initially feel is actually due to stepping out of that comfort zone. So when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, it's really uncomfortable to do something different because you're not used to it. So you're consciously thinking about every single moment. But think about when you first learned to drive a vehicle or ride a bicycle. Everything you thought about continuously. You were taking those steps and, pedaling the bike. You're watching every movement with your hands, your feet, where do your feet go? And you're thinking about all these things at once. But as you develop competence and confidence, you suddenly don't think about how you're riding the bike anymore. You just ride. You can enjoy the scenery. You can pay attention to what's going on around you. And also, if you're driving a car, you're not constantly thinking about, oh, I should do this and I should do that. My hand should be here. Although sometimes you'll catch me, 9 and 3, or talking to my team, making sure that there's 2 hands on the wheel. Um, so it's very interesting, but that conscious thought versus just unconsciously thinking about it because it's something that becomes part of your norm. So really thinking about that growth mindset. What is it that I need to learn from this situation? And it's always coming from that place of curiosity. So instead of coming from a place of worry, what if this happens, that I'm not going to take this action? I want you to start thinking in a place of what can happen. What if I did this and actually achieved what I want to, taking this struggling situation and taking it and using it to your advantage to shift your place into strength and success. The other thing is that you start to learn, not only you get a new perspective, you're looking from this growth mindset, but you're looking at, tapping into your internal power. This is the place of resilience and thinking about what this lesson that you've learned, how do you bounce forward or bounce back, as some people might say, to shift into an unstoppable situation because you've overcome a huge obstacle. It might be that, if you were facing some debts, that you learn how to manage your money better, or time management, that you missed some deadlines, you missed opportunities. Well, it could mean that those opportunities weren't meant for you and that there are better opportunities around the corner. And finding your voice. There's been many coaching clients that I've worked with, and this is one of the most rewarding parts of when they're faced with a conflict or a difficult situation, or, just wanting to develop more confidence in themselves and speaking their mind. Finding your voice is one of the most powerful things that you can do, because you are here for a purpose. And I want to remind you of that. Only you can fulfill your mission. So finding your voice, being able to express that to others about your wants, your needs, your vision of what you have for what's possible is a huge accomplishment. And, we need more people to start doing that, because you alone can be the change that we want to see in the world. That ripple that really creates this contagious effect and really helps people get along their way. But also, when struggles do show up, I want you to ask yourself, do I react, get defensive, get frustrated, go into the why me state? Or do you shift and say, okay, I'm going to react. I'm going to be proactive. I knew this might be coming. I kind of anticipated it, and I'm all prepared. So it comes up when you're thinking of situations that you can sometimes anticipate the outcomes. And if you prepare for the outcomes, even though there might not be your ones that you would like to achieve, you can start mitigating some of that risk and start thinking about what are the things that I can do if this situation does come up and does prevent me from going in this direction. Remember, success isn't a one-way direction. It can be loops. It can go in angles. It can go in all different spaces. But what I want to assure you of is no matter what the route is, there are many routes to the same direction. And I don't know if you've ever played, I recently started playing a game called A Ticket to Ride. And it's a Canadian version, North American version. But what it does is it shows you that if someone blocks your path, if you're playing with an opponent and they block your path, what you can actually do is you got to find a different route to get to the same place. It doesn't matter if it's the direct route, around the route. What matters is you finish your sequence of trains. So really thinking about it's a great analogy for knowing that there's more than one way to get to the same place and be successful. So the biggest things are when it comes to whether it be struggle or whether you want to change something in your life, that result, what you need to start doing is taking 100% responsibility for every action, the words you say. And, instead of looking to blame somebody, what I want you to start doing is really thinking about, so what part in this have I played? what part in this can I change? What is it that may have offended someone, or what is it that I did not put out as effort to get the results that I need, versus looking outwards to see where the cause was? What is it, something that I could have done differently? The other thing that's really powerful, and our previous guest on our show, Bean Gill, if you just listened to her podcast, is having that never quit option. Quitting should never be an option, because as soon as you think, oh yeah, I can quit, you have an exit strategy. You're already thinking about the way out versus, okay, how can I stay in the game? What do I have to do differently? And constantly adjusting your course so that you can help others, but also help yourself get to where you want to go. And the other thing is, thinking about Thomas Edison and the light bulb, he had, when people had questioned him, he's like, I just had 10,000 ways that I learned that the light bulb didn't work. And suddenly he found the one that did work. So imagine if he would have stopped. Yeah, somebody else might have invented it. But the thing is that perseverance, that persistence, that resiliency of picking up when maybe somebody doesn't believe in you. What I want to remind you, what most importantly matters, is that you believe in you. You need to have greater belief in yourself than your fears, so that you take the actions required to move ahead, get ahead, and really position yourself for that success. So you're learning different ways to adjust the course, new strategies to try out to get to the place that you want to go. And one of the biggest things that you're going to find when you want to turn those struggles into success is start setting goals for yourself, getting the ideas that you need to follow through on, those actions you need to take. The best way to turn a struggle into a strength to your success, it is all about setting those goals, being intentional about your actions, and really refining along the way. It's all about revising, finding a system that works for you. Not all systems are cookie cutter where they're going to work for everyone else. You need to learn what's going to work for you and move forward so that you can achieve the success that you want to achieve. You don't need a superpower. Okay, I don't have a cape, although I wish I had one, and I've always wanted to be Wonder Woman. But as you can see, I'm not Wonder Woman or Linda Carter, but I have learned that you always have a choice. And no matter what the struggle is, you have a choice to do nothing, or you have a choice to do something. No matter what, you still have a choice. And my hope for you is that you choose to take action that is intentional. You're going to start setting goals. You're going to break down some of the struggles into smaller pieces so that you can slowly overcome whatever's holding you back so you can have your greatest breakthrough. I want to thank you all for coming to the Millionaire Woman Show, and it's so great to see you as viewers on YouTube and listening to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and so forth. And we'd love for you to go over to iTunes and give us a 5-star high five, write us a review, share this podcast with your friends, help them, particularly this episode, turning those struggles into strength, your success, and their success too. Go over to our website, sign up for our Success Secrets newsletter. It comes out every 2 weeks. I promise we don't spam people, but we do want to make sure you get the greatest content in your hands with tips and strategies and techniques and even offers of coaching. Go to my website, check it out. There is a 30-minute discovery session that you can learn if coaching is a fit for you. And I have online programs that are in the works, so they will be launched here really soon. So we always like to listen to our audience and let us know what you'd like to hear more about. Is there any guest particularly you'd like to have on the show? And just email us. Let me know if something resonated with you that really has been profound at Deborah@deborahkozowski.com. Let me know. I love to receive feedback from our guests, our audience, our fans. You know, we love to hear from you, and my team is always grateful. So as Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. And what I want more than anything is that you go out and make your day great. Have a wonderful day, everyone. And I hope to see you on the next Millionaire Woman podcast. Take care.